Let's take a look at a big question for a lot of parents: how to prepare yourself and your kids for the classroom. And of course, to answer that, let's bring in CTV's Infectious Disease Specialist Dr. Abdu Sharkawy. Dr. Sharkawy, great to have you.
Nice to see you, Angie.
Let's kind of start right off the board here as we've been, tracking numbers here. We've been seeing cases in schools in some provinces now. I first want to get your take on that and what your message is there.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think it's understandable that we're going to start seeing trickling in of cases as more communal environments are reestablished, and schools are certainly front and foremost when it comes to that. I don't think we want to get too far ahead of ourselves, and we need to recognize that if outbreaks are understood and identified early, we can prevent small brush fires from becoming bigger problems and reintroducing COVID-19 into our community. So I think we all just want to take a deep breath here and understand that as long as we continue to keep community transmission at a low level, we should be okay.
You heard from some parents speaking there, expressing their concerns. As a parent yourself as well, what's your message to Canadian parents out there?
I feel it. I understand the sense of anxiety, the apprehension, the uncertainty, very much so. And I think that how I'm preparing myself and my family is just to make sure that we communicate with each other as much as possible, to validate each other's anxieties, what we're worried about, what the unknowns are. And more than anything, just to model good coping mechanisms, to model good behavior for one another. So that means that we're very big on the idea of making sure we're conscious and aware of hand hygiene and masking and distancing in all circumstances, and making it something that's healthy and positive rather than something that is out of fear or out of a sense of concern that there's something out there lingering that's out to get us. And I think that's an important thing to bear in mind, to make this a moment of empowerment as a family unit rather than something else.
And having that honest conversation, you mentioned that communication, that conversation, but having those honest conversations with your children, that's really critical, both for kids and parents, but for kids especially, so that, they really understand what's going on, but then they feel comfortable to talk to you about it.
Oh, absolutely. And make no mistake about it, I think kids are going through a lot. They've been missing their friends. They've been missing the organic routine of learning now for several months. And now they're going back to a situation that's going to seem foreign and unusual, with staggering of entrances and cohorts and masks everywhere. And I think that we need to prepare them for that. We need to understand what their anxieties are around that. And we need to focus on the fact that if we do things the right way and frame things with a positive message to make masks fun and cool, and to remember that we've learned and adapted so well up to this point in time, we'll give kids an opportunity to get a head start on the school year, again, with a sense of empowerment and with a sense of confidence rather than one of fear.
Yeah, and having those conversations, as you mentioned, is so important. I know that you've got 3 beautiful boys, 2 of which are going to be going back to school. You've been having great in-depth conversations with them about masks and ensuring that they know exactly what they need to do to properly wear them. The best way I think we can describe this is to have 2 of your boys come into the shot here. I want to introduce them to our viewers, of course. And we know that you've been also talking to them about, sanitizing their hands, making sure that that they're keeping their hands clean. So right now we're looking at, we've got 9-year-old Sufyan, and right behind there, wearing that mask right now, is 7-year-old Amin. Boys, it's so good to see you. So Sufyan, can I see your brother there is wearing his mask. Can you show us what his mom and dad taught you in terms of keeping yourself nice and that proper hand hygiene, and how you put on a mask?
So you get the hand sanitizer and just rub it on.
It's rubbing it really good. That's good.
Okay.
Very good. And where's your mask?
And so then it's in the zipper, right? And then you just open it up like this, and then you pull it out by the string.
Yep.
You pull it out by the spring. And then just grab the 2 strings.
Yeah.
And then you put it on.
And how are we gonna...
And then you grab these 2 edges and pull it up so that it covers your... And then it covers the...
That's perfect because it's right underneath your chin. You've got it all nicely covered. And what if I need to take my mask off, Sophia? And what do I need to do then?
Then you wash your hands again.
Okay, so I re-sanitize my hands.
Yeah. Or wash it.
Or wash your hands with water and soap, yes.
Right.
And then you grab the string like this, and then just pull it off, and then like switch your hands like this to those two edges like this, and you just pull like that.
Okay.
And then you fold it down like that, and then you put it back.
And you put it back in the bag so it stays nice and safe, and it's not, there's no contamination anywhere. You know, I think you showing us how you've put on the mask there is giving me a great sense of comfort. I think it's going to give a lot of the kids a great sense of comfort. But with you and your brother going back to school, what do you want to tell other kids across Canada for them going back to school? What's your message to them, Sufyan?
That masks are important because they help prevent coronavirus.
They protect you from coronavirus. And Amin, I know you're back there and you're wearing your mask. Why don't you come forward? I know there's something you want to tell Canadian kids. What would you like to tell them about the mask?
It's really easy wearing mask, and it's not hard to talk and breathe wearing a mask.
Right, and how does it protect you from COVID-19? You were showing that to me earlier in terms of how it prevents COVID-19 from going into your mouth.
So
if you're outside and the wind is blowing very hard, then if another person has coronavirus,
or inside.
Yeah, or inside. If another person has coronavirus and the coronavirus blows into you, into your mouth, then you'll get coronavirus.
Right.
But if you're wearing a mask, it'll just bump into the mask and then fly away.
And it protects you, simple as that. And you boys have really illustrated that so beautifully. I want to thank all three of you. You have been great starting off our coverage today. Dr. Abdu Sharkawy, of course, it's always wonderful chatting with you. Your sons are wonderful. We wish them well on their first day of school. Sophia and Amin, thank you both very much. You stay safe and enjoy your school year.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.